You don't have a money problem. You have a thinking problem. Because if money was about intelligence, all educated people would be rich. If money was about hard work, every laborer would be wealthy. If money was about degrees, school would have made you financially free. But it didn't. School taught you how to pass exams. It never taught you how to control greed. It never taught you how to control ego. It never taught you how to be patient. And that is why most people struggle. Today, with the help of the book The Psychology of Money, we will talk about the life lessons about money that school never taught you. And listen carefully. If you stay till the end, not only will your thinking change, your English will improve too. Simple words. Clear ideas. Real growth. Now, let's begin. Lesson 1. Money is emotional, not logical. You think money decisions are logical. They are not. They are emotional. You don't buy things because you need them. You buy because you feel something. Pressure. Jealousy. Fear. Excitement. Morgan Housel writes, "Doing well with money has little to do with how smart you are and a lot to do with how you behave." It is not about intelligence. It is about behavior. You can know everything about money. But if you cannot control yourself, you will lose control of your future. People make money decisions when they feel behind. When they feel insecure. When they want to prove something. And emotions are expensive. Very expensive. Solution. Before any money decision, pause and ask yourself, what am I feeling right now? If you feel pressure, wait. If you feel excitement, wait. If you feel fear, wait. Calm decisions build wealth. Emotional decisions destroy it. Control your behavior. That is the real skill. Before we continue, if you want to improve your thinking and your English at the same time, make sure you subscribe to this channel. Because here, we talk about life, discipline, mindset, and growth. And every video helps you become stronger. Lesson 2. Money buys happiness, but only in one way. Why? People say money cannot buy happiness. That is not completely true. The book explains something deeper. Money buys control over your time. And control over time creates happiness. When you can choose how you spend your day, stress reduces. When you are not forced into decisions because of money, life feels lighter. The highest form of wealth is the ability to wake up and say, I can choose. But many people misunderstand this. They think money buys happiness through luxury. Through expensive things. Through showing success. But happiness comes from freedom, not from attention. Solution: use money to buy time, not status. Build savings that give you flexibility. Work toward independence, not applause. The goal is not to look powerful. The goal is to feel in control. Lesson 3, looking rich is easy. Being rich is hard. Looking rich is simple. Buy expensive things. Upgrade lifestyle. Post success online. Being rich is different. Being rich means you don't spend everything. It means you build savings. It means you build freedom. The book reminds us that wealth is what you don't see. It is money saved. It is money invested quietly. It is the options you have because you did not spend everything. But society rewards showing. So people increase lifestyle fast. And stress increases faster. Slowly, they become trapped. Rich lifestyle. Poor freedom. That is the modern trap. Solution. Stop asking, how do I look? Start asking, how secure am I? Before buying something expensive, ask yourself, is this building freedom or destroying it? Choose quiet wealth over loud lifestyle. Silence is powerful. Lesson 4, you don't define enough. If you don't define enough, you will never stop. More money. More status. More pressure. There will always be someone earning more. Always someone ahead. If your goal is comparison, you lose automatically. Because the game never ends. Some people risk everything just to earn more. They lose peace. They lose sleep. They lose relationships. For what? For a number that keeps moving. The book teaches that knowing when you have enough is one of the most important financial skills. But nobody teaches this in school. Solution. Define your enough. What income is enough? What lifestyle is enough? What freedom is enough? When you know your limit, you stop chasing endlessly. And you start living peacefully. Lesson 5. Freedom is the real wealth. You think money is for buying things. It is not. It is for buying control. Control of your time. Control of your decisions. Control of your life. The highest form of wealth is the ability to wake up and say, I can choose. The real value of money is independence. Not status. Not power. Freedom. When you depend only on salary, you are not fully free. When you depend on approval, you are not free. When you depend on comparison, you are not free. Freedom is silent. But powerful. Solution. Build money slowly for independence, not for attention. Save for flexibility. Invest for options. Work for freedom, not for showing. Stop for a moment. Everything we discussed is uncomfortable. Because it exposes your habits. Your ego. Your fears. But growth begins with discomfort. And this is only the beginning. Lesson 6. Patience makes more money than talent. You think you need to be smarter to become wealthy. You think you need special knowledge. But the book explains something powerful. Wealth is not built by talent. It is built by patience. Most people lose not because they are wrong, but because they cannot wait. They start something. They save for some time. They try to improve. But when results are slow, they feel frustrated. They stop. They change direction. They chase something faster. And that is where the damage begins. Money grows quietly. Slowly. Almost invisibly in the beginning. And because you cannot see quick results, you think nothing is happening. But the truth is simple. The person who can stay consistent for 10 years will always beat the person who jumps every year. Patience is rare. And rare skills are powerful. Solution. Stop asking, how fast can I grow? Start asking, how long can I stay consistent? Build small habits. Protect them. Even if growth feels slow, trust time. Time is more powerful than intelligence. Stay in the game long enough. Luck plays a bigger role than you think. This lesson is uncomfortable. You want to believe success is fully earned. But the book reminds us that luck is real. The country you were born in matters. The time you were born matters. The people you met matter. Two people can work equally hard. One becomes extremely successful. The other struggles. Is one better? Not always. Sometimes it is timing. Sometimes it is opportunity. And here is the danger. When people succeed, they think it was only because of their skill. Then ego grows. They take bigger risks. They believe they cannot fail. And that overconfidence destroys them. Understanding luck does not mean you stop working hard. It means you stay humble. Solution. Work hard. Stay disciplined. But never believe you are untouchable. Leave room for uncertainty. Never risk everything in one move. Respect the role of luck. Humility protects wealth. Lesson 8. Risk is silent, not loud. When you hear the word risk, you imagine something dramatic. Something extreme. But the most dangerous risks are quiet. They grow slowly. Lifestyle grows with income. Expenses increase step by step. You earn more, so you spend more. Bigger house. Better phone. More monthly payments. At first, it feels like progress. But slowly, pressure increases. Freedom decreases. And you become dependent on income. The book explains that true wealth gives you options. But if your lifestyle grows too fast, you lose options. You become trapped in your own success. Solution. When income increases, increase savings first. Increase investments first. Keep lifestyle growth slow. Do not let expenses control your future. Build space. Build margin. Freedom grows when pressure stays low. Lesson 9. Ego destroys more money than bad decisions. Be honest. Sometimes you spend not because you need something, but because you want to feel important. You want to show progress. You want others to see success. The book makes this clear. The desire to look successful is expensive. Very expensive. People buy things to impress others who are not even thinking about them. They take financial risks to prove they are smart. They chase status instead of stability. And slowly, ego replaces logic. Ego whispers, "You deserve this." Ego whispers, "Show them." And that whisper becomes debt, stress, and regret. Solution: separate your self-worth from your money. You are not your car. You are not your salary. You are not your lifestyle. Build quiet confidence. The less you try to prove, the more you can improve. Lesson 10: survival is more important than winning. Most people focus on winning big. They ask, "How much can I make?" They rarely ask, "How long can I survive?" The book explains something powerful. Survival is the key. If you survive long enough, growth will happen. But if you make one decision that destroys everything, the game ends. Wealth is not about dramatic success. It is about avoiding catastrophic failure. It is about staying in the game. The longer you stay stable, the stronger you become. Survival sounds boring. But boring strategies build real wealth. Solution: avoid decisions that can destroy you completely. Do not risk everything for one opportunity. Protect yourself first. Grow second. Stability is strength. Pause for a moment. Notice something. Every lesson is not about numbers. It is about behavior. Patience, humility, control, survival, ego. School never tested you on these. But life does. Lesson 11: if you don't define enough, you will never stop. There is a dangerous game in the world of money. It has no finish line. No trophy. No end. It is the game of a more. More income. More status. More success. And the problem is simple. There will always be someone ahead of you. Someone earning more. Someone living bigger. If your happiness depends on catching them, you will run forever. The book explains that knowing when you have enough is one of the most important financial skills. But nobody teaches this. People risk everything to get a little more. They lose sleep. They lose peace. Sometimes they lose everything. Why? Because they never defined what enough means for them. And when enough is not clear, greed becomes unlimited. Solution: define your enough. What lifestyle is enough? What income is enough? What freedom is enough? Write it clearly. When you know your limit, you protect it. When you know your target, you stop chasing endlessly. Peace begins where comparison ends. Lesson 12: your money habits come from your past. Your money behavior is not random. It has a history. Maybe you grew up seeing money problems. Maybe your parents argued about bills. Maybe you saw stress and fear around money. Now money feels heavy. Or maybe you saw someone make quick money. Now you expect fast success. The book explains that no one is crazy with money. People make decisions based on their personal experiences, not based on textbooks. Two people can earn the same salary. One saves. One spends. Why? Different past. Different story. Until you understand your money story, you will repeat it again and again. Solution: ask yourself, what did I learn about money when I was young? Write it down. Was it fear? Was it stress? Was it showing off? Awareness creates change. When you understand your past, you can design a better future. Lesson 13: small habits decide your future. You think big decisions shape your life. But the book shows that small habits repeated for years create the biggest difference. Saving a small percentage every month. Avoiding unnecessary upgrades. Staying disciplined quietly. These actions look small. But over time, they become powerful. The problem is that small mistakes also grow. Daily overspending. Ignoring budgets. Living slightly above your means. These habits compound too. Slowly. Silently. And then one day, you feel trapped. Solution: respect small habits. Track small spending. Improve small behaviors. Do not wait for big income changes to fix your life. Small discipline, repeated for years, you cannot predict the future, so stop trying. Many people try to control everything. They want perfect timing. Perfect planning. Perfect certainty. But the future is always uncertain. Markets change. Jobs change. Life changes. The book explains that the goal is not to predict the future perfectly. The goal is to be prepared for uncertainty. When you build financial margin, you reduce stress. Margin means savings. Margin means not living at the edge. Without margin, one unexpected event becomes a crisis. With margin, problems become manageable. Solution. Build extra safety. Save more than you think you need. Avoid living paycheck to paycheck. Prepare for bad days while you enjoy good ones. Strength is built before the storm. Lesson 15, your expectations shape your satisfaction. Happiness is not only about how much you have. It is about what you expect. If your expectations rise faster than your income, you will always feel poor. Social media increases expectations daily. You see luxury. You see success stories. You see filtered lifestyles. And slowly, your normal life feels small. But satisfaction comes when reality meets expectations. If expectations are unrealistic, satisfaction disappears. The book reminds us that managing expectations is more powerful than increasing income. Solution. Lower unrealistic expectations. Focus on gratitude. Measure progress against your past, not against someone else's highlight. Satisfaction grows when comparison shrinks. Pause for a moment. Notice something important. Every lesson is about mindset. Not formulas. Not complex systems. Mindset. If your thinking changes, your behavior changes. If your behavior changes, your financial life changes. Lesson 16. Fear makes you make expensive decisions. Fear is silent, but powerful. You don't always see it, but it controls many of your money decisions. When you fear losing money, you avoid opportunities. When you fear missing out, you jump into things too fast. When you fear looking behind, you overspend. Fear works in two ways. It makes you freeze, or it makes you rush. And both are dangerous. The book explains that people often react emotionally during uncertain times. They change plans. They abandon long-term goals. They let short-term fear destroy long-term stability. Fear is natural. But acting on fear is expensive. Solution. When fear appears, slow down. Do not decide immediately. Ask yourself, will this matter in 5 years? If the answer is no, calm down. Build plans when you are calm, not when you are scared. Stability comes from emotional control. Lesson 17, you focus on return, but ignore survival. Most people ask one question, how much can I earn? Very few ask, how much can I lose? The book teaches something powerful. Staying alive financially is more important than maximizing returns. Because if you lose everything once, you may never recover. Survival is not exciting. It is not dramatic. But it is the foundation of wealth. If you protect yourself from catastrophic mistakes, time will work in your favor. If you take extreme risks and fail once, the game ends. Solution. Always protect the downside. Avoid decisions that can destroy your stability. You do not need extraordinary success. You need steady survival. Build strength slowly. Stay in the game. Lesson 18, money is about control, not status. Many people chase money for status. They want to feel important. They want recognition. But status is temporary. Control is lasting. The book explains that the true value of money is independence. The ability to choose your work. The ability to say no. The ability to walk away from unhealthy situations. That is power. Not applause. Not luxury. When you build money for status, you feel pressure. When you build money for control, you feel peace. Solution. Redefine your goal. Ask yourself, am I building money for attention or for independence? Focus on flexibility. Focus on options. Money should reduce pressure, not increase it. Lesson 19, what you don't see matters more than what you see. People admire visible success. Big houses. Expensive cars. Public achievements. But the book reminds us that real wealth is invisible. It is the savings account no one sees. It is the investments quietly growing. It is the debt you avoided. The problem is that invisible progress feels boring. So people chase visible rewards. They sacrifice long-term security for short-term admiration. And slowly, the foundation weakens. Solution. Value what is invisible. Celebrate quiet discipline. Respect slow growth. Just because no one sees your progress does not mean it is not powerful. The strongest foundations are built quietly. Lesson 20. Your biggest advantage is time. This may be the most powerful lesson. Time is more important than high income. Time is more important than perfect decisions. When you start early, even small actions grow. When you delay, even big actions struggle. The book shows that compounding works only when you give it time. But people waste years waiting for the perfect moment. They delay saving. They delay planning. They delay discipline. And delay is expensive. Very expensive. Solution. Start before you feel ready. Start small. But start. Do not wait for perfect income. Do not wait for perfect knowledge. Time rewards action, not perfection. The earlier you begin, the easier your future becomes. Pause. Take a deep breath. Look at what we have uncovered. Fear, ego, impatience, comparison, overconfidence, status, survival, time. None of these were taught in school. But all of them decide your thinking money is about earning more. But now you understand something deeper. Money is not numbers. It is not formulas. It is not about being the smartest person in the room. Money is behavior. It is patience. It is ego control. It is knowing when to stop. It is knowing what is enough. School never taught you this. School taught you how to calculate interest. But it never taught you how to control desire. It never taught you how to stay calm when others are running. And that is why so many intelligent people still struggle financially. Most people will watch this video and do nothing. A few people will reflect. And an even smaller number will take action. If you want to be in that small group, subscribe. Because change does not happen by accident. It happens by decision. The biggest lesson from the psychology of money is simple. You do not need to be a genius to build wealth. You need consistency. You do not need extreme risk. You need discipline. Most people do not fail because they are unlucky. They fail because they react emotionally. They compare their lives with others. They rush decisions. They try to prove something. They increase lifestyle before increasing stability. And slowly, pressure replaces peace. Money does not change who you are. It reveals who you are. If you are impatient, more money will increase your impatience. If you are insecure, more money will increase your need to show off. If you are disciplined, more money will increase your freedom. So the real work is internal. Your habits. Your mindset. Your relationship with money. That is where everything begins. True wealth is not loud. It is quiet. It is the ability to say no. It is the ability to walk away from stress. It is the ability to choose how you spend your time. Freedom is the real goal. Not status. Not applause. Not social media validation. Freedom means you do not depend on approval. Freedom means you are not trapped by expenses. Freedom means your decisions are not controlled by fear. If you remember only one thing from this entire book, remember this: survival matters more than winning. Staying in the game matters more than looking impressive. Protect what you have. Grow slowly. Define your enough. Respect time. Avoid comparison. Stay humble. Stay patient. And now ask yourself honestly, are you chasing money to impress people? Or are you building money to create freedom? Because those two paths lead to completely different lives. If this changed how you think, even a little, then your future has already shifted. And while you were listening, you improved your English too. Because growth is not only about money. It is about thinking better. And when you think better, you live better.